doing Get the Show on the road. Hi, Allison. How are you?
Hi.
Hi. Is everybody feeling the Super Bowl today?
Yes.
Yeah.
I felt like last night was New Year's Eve. Did anybody else? Like everybody's excited and like the big them winning is the countdown and the kids are spinning around in circles and then you have to get up early.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So anyways, so great news. We have 2 coaches that already have Success Club points. So Melissa Clark has got one on the board and also Annette. I know. She's so sneaky. She gets those points on there. And then Danette, my mom, also got points on the board. So she has a Success Club point already. I know. Yay, go team. So, our team is starting to, and I've got 2. So it's definitely, we're having those conversations and it's moving forward. My mom got started 7 months ago and she's just now getting points on the board, but she's sticking to it. And so that's what we do. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Who listened to the National Wake Up Call today?
Not yet. I have to do the replay.
Oh, you have to listen to
I got home and changed into my PJs.
Have you guys ever heard every excuse is as good as any other, so you might as well say peanut butter?
Yeah.
That's what I used to tell my students about like not having homework or doing their projects. They're like, yeah, but and I'm like, just say peanut butter. It's all the same. No, I get it. You were traveling. Yeah. David Atkins, he is a lieutenant for the New York Police Department. And he's been a coach since 2010, but he still works full time as a lieutenant with 3 kids. And
wow.
His story was pretty awesome in the fact that his first year, he averaged $70 a month. His first year, averaged 7, and that's it. And I don't know about you guys, but when you've got a full 12 months of pushing through and the best that you can bring in is $70 a month, you might feel a little defeated. His second year, he averaged $600 a month. And then he said that the first year, second year, he just couldn't figure out that he was doing the thing, and he couldn't figure out why his business wasn't moving forward. And you know what the big thing was? Personal development.
Ugh.
Yep. He said, he was like, I was that person that just, personal development, I wasn't going to join that wagon and I wasn't going to sign up for that. It's just cheesy. I didn't have time to get it done. And I myself have said that. I just don't have time. So I'll read like a paragraph, right? But when he said that, after that, all of a sudden there was this switch where he took ownership of the business and he's like, I can't wait for other people to get signed up. I can't wait for people to say they want to join this business. I just have to go do it. And the only way that he felt like he could do it was personal development. So amazing story, 5 years, him and his wife are now elite coaches and they're paid off major debt that they've had built up, and he's still passionate about his job, but can do this. And so you have to listen to the call. The National Wake Up Calls are only half an hour. They keep it short. So I like that because I've been on calls that go for like ever and ever. But so awesome to listen to his story, which made me think of, I have a huge library, like just everywhere around our house, in our office, around our front room, downstairs in our basement. We have personal development books that we've read. And so I grabbed a few, like Who Moved My Cheese? Has anybody read this one? No, you can see it's a tiny book, but it's definitely, it says an amazing way to deal with change in your work and in your life. So if you're dealing with some major change and you just want something quick to just kind of give you a little inspiration, this would be a book for you. And I'm actually going to mail these out to you guys. So if any of these spark, like, ooh, I want that book, I'm going to send it to you. Okay. Lincoln on leadership. If you're ready for that leadership role and you want to grow your team and you just don't know how to get team moving forward or build a team. Lincoln has incredible philosophies. So power of vision. So Dr. Miles Monroe, Elizabeth and I got to see him in Nashville like eons ago. We met him and he did a conference for a couple days. He has Purpose and Power of Men, Purpose and Power of Women. But this book, Power of Vision. So if you feel like you don't know where you're going, you just feel like you don't know what's motivating you, or if you just don't have that thing that keeps you going every day, this is a great book. He ran the ministries in Sandals, Jamaica, like owned like everything, but it went towards the ministries that he had there. So he's a great one. Eat that frog. So if there's something that you're supposed to do, but you just don't do it, it's easy not to do, but it's also easy to do. This is a great one. So if you feel like you're procrastinating, this would be your book. And then Jim Rohn, I don't know if you guys saw, but today I spent some time listening to Jim Rohn, and I love him. He has this twangy, funky accent that just he kind of talks like this, and he's got a dry humor, but he's funny, and he just talks about how at age 25 he was totally broke and just sucking at life. And all of a sudden came to a gentleman that was a multimillionaire and asked him if he would train him, educate him. How can I have the life that you have? And started studying success. And so this is the 5 major pieces to the life puzzle. And it's just really good to about balance. How, like, why do people do this? Today he said, why do people have to lie? Why are liars liars? And he goes, that's why they're liars, because they're supposed to be. And then he said, well, what about doubters? Why do we have to have doubters? Well, they're supposed to be. Don't join that club. Like, some of us get so boggled down in why people don't move forward. Like, I've given you information. You want to move forward. Why aren't you doing this? Or you have a coach, and the coach is like, yeah, I want to do this, but they don't. He's like, don't worry about it. Just keep moving forward. So this is a fun one. And you can see also short read. And then Eric Worre, Go Pro, he has, if you just feel like you don't know how to respond to questions or how to follow up with people or like daily activities, this is I read this on the airplane on the way to Las Vegas. It's a great book for that how-to with this type of business. So those are just examples. Seasons of Life with Jim Rohn, where how many of you feel like when things are dark in your life, they're really dark? Like, it's just, nothing goes right. You're exhausted. You're emotionally just, right? Well, that's considered our human winter. But what comes after winter?
Spring.
Spring. So we have seasons that environmentally, but we also have seasons of life. And I know, Kelly, we've talked about, like, we definitely had this winter that you had to get through. Game of Thrones, anybody? Are you Game of Thrones fans? Winter is coming. What? Okay. You have winter, and after winter, you have the spring, right? So it's that sowing and reaping, but we go through those times in life all the time. We have our winters, we have our springs, our summers, and fall, and then all of a sudden you have a winter again. And that's just normal. It's the growing period where we become better. So this is a fun, easy read as well. So what I want you guys to do is just take a moment and think about 1 or 2 things that you feel like you're struggling right now in this business. Like, you don't know what to do, how to deal with people, or you maybe don't have vision, but just take a moment, and I'm going to zip my lip, and I want you to write down a couple things that you feel like you struggle with. I can hear Lavidia screaming upstairs.
Aw, poor baby. How is that going?
Oh, she's sleeping. Kind of. Kind of.
It'll get better. Gosh, I remember those days, and Kelsey's 17, so. But I do remember.
Yes. Yes. It is improving. Last night was hard because of Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you feel like you guys have something written down for what you're struggling with? Okay. So let's start with Elizabeth.
Me?
Yeah.
When people decide to go with other coaches, I don't know what to do about that.
Okay. So do you feel like maybe like that's almost someone saying no, or that the confidence issue, like you're not good enough?
It's just they post something and then like there's 30 coaches right there, right then, and they're like, come with me.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're better friends, so they go with them, and then I'm like, well, crap.
Okay. So do you feel like you get down when you see that person and do you feel like you missed the opportunity?
Yeah.
Okay. So for you, I would say GoPro, because it talks about how a lot of us emotionally attach to the idea of someone signing up with us or becoming our customer. And if we find out that they go with somebody else because they're closer or whatever reason it is, they go with someone else, or they just decide not to, it's this hit and you feel paralyzed and you don't know how to move forward, and you start questioning, like, am I doing this right? Or it's just not working, or whatever it is. So I'll send you this one. And if someone else wants the GoPro, I'll send it to you as well. Don't worry. But the biggest part of that is adding new friends, starting new conversations, and inviting more people.
I added 10 people yesterday.
Great.
Wow, that's great.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, you're like, when you can do that every day, just add people, and then you start conversations with them, just asking them questions and all that, you're going to expand outside of your list.
Yeah, my group raised up to 50 people, so that's good.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Are you adding people that Facebook suggests, or friends of, how it suggests friends of friends, or are you adding people from a group? Like
from friends of friends, and then I started a group, and I made it a secret group, and it's like a women's empowerment group. Mm-hmm. And my friends have added their friends, so I send them requests. So that's what I'm trying to do now.
Great. Send them requests. Yep.
Mm-hmm. I find that what has helped me a lot is friending from or requesting from like pages and stuff. Like I like to run. I'm not great at it, but I like to do it. And so I like these running groups and pages. And so if someone comments that I like something that she said, then I will kind of stalk her page if it lets me, if she's not private, and then I'll send her a friend request. And what that does is broadens the people that Facebook will then suggest to you, because if it's suggesting friends of friends and you're close with some of these friends, then that's another way to expand. So maybe you won't get all the coaches jumping on your post and jumping in there. So so
it would be a good idea to, like, all the 5Ks that are coming up, start stalking their pages.
So one thing, and Kelly and I have talked about this too, is something that you're really interested in, find a Facebook group with that thing. So for example, I'm a part of a Denver salsa group because I love salsa dancing. And this year I want to join a team. I want to be on a ladies dance team. And then there's like mamas groups. There's Denver mamas and there's Southland mamas. And I want to connect with women in my area because I really don't have a lot of friends in this area. They're all in the Western Slope. So most of my coaches are on the Western Slope. And so that's helped me expand into a new area with people that have like-minded interests with me. So that's great. I love that, Jen. Thank you. Okay, Jen, what did you write down?
Inviting to coaching. That's always like my, not nemesis. It's just, it's hard. You know, I can talk about Shakeology and 21 Day Fix and everything, but the second I you know, get to the point where I want to introduce it, I'm like, no, you know, I back off and just don't follow through with it, and then, you know, regret and kick myself in the rear like 2 days later. But and then just trusting that I guess it kind of goes along with the same inviting to coaching, just believing in myself that, you know, I'm a good leader, you know, because that's another fear of mine is, okay, I'm going to, you know, I'm going to get coaches on my team, but then what if I fail them? What if I don't? What if I'm not a good leader for them and help them? So, but yeah, that's me. Those are my nemesis right now.
So it sounds like because you're afraid of letting down your team, you don't invite because it's scary moving someone forward when you're just figuring it out. And yeah. Okay. So you're going to get Lincoln on Leadership. Have you read it yet?
No.
Okay. Okay. Because there's a lot of, it's kind of like when we say, you know, being a product of the product, sharing our journey, people have belief in that. And that's the kind of the leadership, right? When it's not that we stand on people's shoulders, but we lift people up and that we're in the trenches together. And when you share that journey and the ups and downs and everything, people trust you in that. And it's not so much that they count on you to be successful. It's you having the vision of like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. And have you guys heard the phrase, success is going from failure to failure without losing enthusiasm? Have you heard that? I mean, that's really, it's like, it doesn't matter how many times you fall as long as you get back up, right? So that came also from, I don't know, this has like nuggets for me, and I feel like I have to stop reading so I can simmer on the like paragraph that I read, and I'll read it over and over. Like, what was it last night? Check this out. It's talking about the law of attraction and disciplining yourself financially, but it says you attract into your life those things that are in harmony with your dominant thoughts. I'm going to read that again. You attract into your life those things that are in harmony with your dominant thoughts. So if you're thinking, I'm not a good leader, what is the law of attraction going to do?
You're exactly right. That's great. That is great.
Yeah, dominant thoughts, right? If you're thinking, oh, nobody ever joins me, no one's ever signing up. Well, right? They always, someone already has a coach. They're not going to sign up with me. I'm not going to, like, right? The universe is going to go, oh, okay, I got it. Good. So there's a reason. You guys remember these babies? Yeah. Every night before I go to bed, every morning when okay, this is totally personal, but I have it taped in the bathroom, like in our toilet room in the bathroom. So when I wake up in the morning, I read my affirmations when I go potty. But, I mean, in the middle here, I am a strong and influential leader of leaders that changes lives daily. I am an elite coach. I tell myself that every day because if I don't think that, then the universe is going to do otherwise. So, yeah. Okay. I don't know. Have you read this one, Jen?
No.
Okay. You let me know if you want Lincoln on Leadership or the No Excuses one. You might really like the No Excuses one.
Yeah. I'll take the No Excuses.
Okay. Okay. All right. Allison.
The one I put down was that at the end of the day after a work day, and then the kids come home from school and we do homework and I clean up what's left of the kitchen. I just don't want to do anything else. There are some nights where putting something on my to-do list is the last thing I want to do. And I just want to sit down and do nothing. And so some nights I just do nothing.
Mm-hmm. Do you have, so I'm immediately thinking, eat that frog.
Is that one for procrastinators?
It's about procrastinating and getting more done in less time. And that's in today's call, the National Wake Up Call, he talked about hidden minutes where we all have hidden time. And we feel like we can't do anything until the kids are in bed or, you know, when we do all this and that. And there are actually different pockets of time in our day that you could get these things done. And it's just a matter of finding those pockets. Like, for example, the personal development piece, he said that because he had the 3 kids and because he was a lieutenant for the police force and a husband, that where was he finding time to do his personal development? So he actually put in headphones. He would have one in his ear and he would listen to personal development while he did the dishes or while he vacuumed. And so, like, if there's something like you're folding laundry, you can put the headphones in and listen to it then at some point. So finding the hidden minutes will help you. You're going to find those little 15-minute pockets where you take 10 minutes in the morning to add 5 friends. Boom, boom, boom. Because that one's the easiest one. And then maybe at your lunchtime, you start new conversations. Like, before I eat my lunch, I have to start 5 new conversations. Because really that piece, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. And then your invites, right? You can set up these little pockets of time. It doesn't have to be one sit down. It doesn't have to be just like pound through it all at once. And that might help you where if you get it done throughout the day, you can just relax. You know, you've got the kids and you've got your work and this and that. You have to pick up the house. You can breathe.
Yeah.
So
That's probably doable.
yeah, right. Finding those little, and that's what I did when I was teaching before the summer. I was teaching full time and we had football and I had mops and I had the girl, you know, there's just this list, you know, we're all busy. But I would get to work 5 minutes early, sit in my car and add my friends. And what I shared with you is what I did when I was working full time. And, you know, I was able to add 8 coaches. Okay.
Yeah.
Kelly. She's doing her power hour.
Yep, I am. I wrote down for that one, just like I have not had too much of a problem like getting people to join and getting people to be a coach, because I feel as though I've got a pretty good handle on why. I mean, it's cost effective, if nothing else even, but then having people like the coaches want to find time to make it a priority and to do it and just to do any part of it and show, you know, how to show them that it's not hard. It's just a matter of doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I tried having conversations, you know, it's like, and every time I try to have a conversation with somebody, they either ignore me or they give me this or the smiley face, or they say I'm busy until, and then they pick 2 days from now. So then 2 days from then, when I say, hey, you said to message you this day, then they have something for 3 days from now. And then they, you know what I mean? It's just this ongoing cycle of, I'm keeping at it. You keep giving me the thumbs up. You know, I don't know what else to do for you.
Well, and that's the paradox of being a leader, right? Is that you have this vision and you know what they can do and what we'll do for them, but you can't change that. They have to see it for themselves.
I can't, like Evie and Ashley are the big ones. I mean, it's just been the 2 of them. I just am messaging and texting. I was like, okay, maybe I'll try texting because that's easier for me. Maybe that's easier for them. And, you know, I'll get a few words back or whatever. And never have they said I'm not interested, but it's always put it off. They both keep saying, oh yeah, you know, right now I'm in the mountains, or right now I'm doing this, or right now I'm doing that, or call me tomorrow, or do, you know, and it's like, I get to do too. I can't keep being your babysitter.
Right.
You know?
And you don't ever want to do that, because then that's when you start micromanaging and people feel that and they just start pushing back. And right, but you know they want to do this.
Right. So, and they keep telling me they want to, so I don't want to not give them, you know what I mean? They're asking me for one thing. I feel as though I'm giving it to them to the best of my ability, even on their terms. And then they're still not doing what they're asking me to do for that. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm being used, I guess.
You feel like you're being used.
Yeah.
Well, they're definitely not using you. And I think people don't know what they don't know. And so number one, I think third party, right? So that's when you feel like you've reached out to your coaches and they're like, yeah, this is great, but they're not moving forward. Let me know, and I can help kind of prompt, like, hey, I heard Kelly's been reaching out. Let's talk more about why you want to be a coach or what's holding you up. If you feel, and once and I would then just check in with them with the activity of, hey, how's it going? But then, right, you want this for them, and you know they want it, and you support that, but your time is valuable, and if they're not willing to give back, you're like, I'm here for you. Here's your, right, when you're ready, let me know, and I'll keep checking in, but I'm going to find someone who wants to do it. And my energy will go to that, and that's why the adding new coaches, getting their why and their list every month we have to add new coaches to our team. Your blood is the lifeblood. So, and you just hope they'll stick around. And for example, like David Atkins, it took him 2 years to like finally get it, and he's still stuck with it 5 years later. And, you know, as an elite coach, but a lot of people will take time for that journey. So my thinking is, I'm kind of feeling maybe the power of vision, that maybe not so much focusing on their activity, but the emotional part of why they're a coach, what it's done for you, and how you want to help them get that piece. And so I think, I don't know, and you can let me know if you want like the vision, because I don't know how often you talk about your vision and where you see yourself in 5 years with this or with your team.
With what? Sorry, you cut out. With what?
Where do you see yourself in 5 years with your Beachbody business and your team, if you envision that? Because when you have that vision, you can tell people, this is where I'm going. You can either join me or catch up later, but I'm going there with or without you. It's kind of a tough love thing, but when they see you doing it and other coaches doing it with you, they're going to go, oh, I don't want to miss out. I better start doing this. So, yeah, because you can feel that you're talking, it's like with customers, right? You're talking to the same people about joining, but you miss out on other customers that come. Yeah. It's the same thing with team building. Is, you know, you have these two people, if I focus in on them, right? It's kind of, I mean, I have some people on my team that are like, we're going to do this, and they were super excited, and they have the potential, and I check in with them once a week, but I keep adding to my team and following and working with the people who are moving, because it'll drain me, and I don't have time to be drained. Just like you don't. Nobody has time for that. Right? You want to run your marathon with people who are running. So, yeah. So would you say? I would say what? Oh, Adam wants to add something. Please, Teamcraft.
Oh no, just for people who aren't doing something, it can be a big drain on you. But if you can find something else to promote, like the corporate call, you can call somebody and say, "Hey, this corporate call is amazing. You got to listen to it."
Can you guys hear him?
Yes.
Okay. So that's all. Just because it gets totally away from you, and the other leaders that I know, like if you know, in other network marketing companies, that's what they do. They promote other events. They promote a call. They promote a recording. They promote a person, something that's not them. And if that person listens to it, great. They're letting you know they're actually interested. If they don't, they're letting you know something that way too.
Mm-hmm. I love that. It's like the national wake-up call. You guys notice how, like, every national wake-up call is amazing, but it is, and I promote it, right? So if you have people on your team, how much are you pushing that? Or our team calls, right? Like, oh my gosh, you got to get on the team call. We're going to do recognition. We have everything. There's always a nugget in every event. So, yeah, I love that. Like April 3rd is our next Super Saturday, right? We've got to get our tickets and then start promoting that event. So, thank you, Teamcraft.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
No, I love it. I love it. He won't build the business, but he'll help me support the business. But Adam actually spends a ton of time with different people and different network marketing companies that are like the Melanie Mitros kind of people, like just one-on-one. So I should have him do a training for us. That would be awesome. Yeah, so that's kind of what, just after the national wake-up call, I wanted us to think about the area that we feel like we're struggling in and how we can educate ourselves to be better, right? So having vision, and people want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And if you can paint that picture and they can visualize it, they might be more on board. So whatever, or it's just leadership skills, if having that working with people and how do you handle motivating them and getting them to do the thing, right? Like my big push for our team is tracking. I want us to do the activity and write it down because I know what it's given me and I can see how much work I need to do in order to get someone set up. So, and it just creates a little sanity for myself, and I think it helps the team too. So, yeah, that's really what I wanted to is focus on today was the personal development piece. Is if we want success, we have to study it. This is a new world for us. Network marketing, it's hard. It's a whole different. It's like Mars. I don't know. It's kind of an abstract concept. Like we know Mars is there, and we know like we've been there on the spaceship, but we know it's red, you know. But so that's how I sometimes feel like it's just kind of alien. Questions, thoughts? No. Has everybody got their power hour in? Yeah, Jan's got hers.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Kelly's working on hers.
I'm working on mine.
You're okay. And working on, what does that mean? What do you still have to do?
I have to print it out and write it down.
Okay, good. Print it out, write it down. Okay. Allison, was today one of those days where you're just like throwing in the towel?
I was trying to add some friends.
Okay.
So that's where I was leaving off.
Awesome. Very good. Keep adding the friends. I had, in one day, I moved 2 people from adding a new friend from my mama's group that I'm a part of. We went from friend to conversation. They brought up coaching. They saw that I was a Beachbody coach and started telling me their story about how they need to lose weight to me sending them information. When my purpose was to add a friend and build a relationship, they brought up the coaching. That doesn't happen if you don't do your numbers. That doesn't happen every time, but because I'm doing a ton of numbers and inviting each day, I write my 5, 5, and 5. So those kind of conversations will happen the more people you talk to. Also, the coaching piece. Someone says they're excited, they're going to get started. I'm excited too, but I'm still going to invite every day because I know sometimes people don't follow through. They're just not ready yet. And I'm excited. I'm like, all right, someone agreed. At least we got to that point, but I'm not going to like, woohoo, until they submit and I see their name pop up. So we have to have that same paradox of like, great, someone said yes, okay, like at least I'm getting better at that piece, right? But tomorrow I'm going to look for someone else. It's just, that's how we keep, it's a funny feeling, but once you get that, like,
Stop. That's right there.
Oops. No, I'm just kidding. So we keep doing it. The more numbers you do, you get better at it. You use your time better where it happens faster. You figure out what script works best for you. You might not like how I say it, or maybe you adjust it that fits you. But you can't figure that out until you try it. So, all right, cool. Well, I think that's pretty much, Kelly, are we good? Can I unmute you? Okay. Ugh, dog owners. I don't understand people who own dogs. Okay, before we end, each of us share something that we are either excited about or proud of from today. Okay, so we will start with Jen.
From today? Okay. Well, it's Monday and I did not punch anybody in the face at work. So that's a good day. I'm just kidding. Well, I did take the leap, even though I said it was my biggest fear. I did ask someone that I had been wanting to ask for a while to coach, and so that's actually, I could hear my phone beeping or vibrating in the background. So I'm hoping that that is her responding to me, whether it's a no or not. At least I took the leap and just I hit send and did that message. So
And you survived.
I did. I did not stop breathing. My heart didn't stop completely blow up. So we're good. And
she didn't unfriend you, right? You're still friends.
No. Yeah. Well, I think so. I'm hoping.
That's awesome. That is great. That's so cool that you did that. That's great. Okay. Allison.
I actually got a workout in and I didn't miss a Monday. I've been struggling lately with food and exercise and just daily life sucking the life out of me, oddly. So I'm just trying to get back to it. So today was step one. Anyway.
That's great. Every day, right? This day is the first day of the rest of your life. So you made it count. That's awesome. That's so good. Yay!
And how come I never see any of you struggling? I'm the only struggler.
No, I post in my challenge group, and I am actually going to post more on my personal page about the struggles because I have not been eating so great, and I can see it. Like, I posted my ab picture, and then a week later, oops. So you're not alone in the struggle. And I actually have been reflecting on, I need to share more of my story. Tanya the Machine from Insanity or Size, I've looked at her Facebook page, and she has, it's called Shark Week. And I was like, what is Shark Week? And then I saw, yep, today I had some French fries. And then I scrolled down a little bit, and she's like, it's Shark Week, and I had that bowl of ice cream, and I'm feeling bloated. And I'm like, oh, clever. Like, she literally is sharing. She's in her 40s, and she has a kid, and she does all that. Like, she's sharing her reality, and I thought that was cool. Now, hi, Ryan.
Hi, Laura.
Do I get one of those too? Please say no. You're supposed to say no. Oh. Yeah, share that, Allison, that like the more real you are, the more likely people are going to want to join you and do what you're doing. Because sometimes people have this expectation that they have to be perfect, get in shape or lose weight, but it's not about that. So maybe we could all be a little bit more real with maybe emotional struggles or physical struggles or any of those things. Like sharing Lavidia not sleeping and having a Moscow Mule with bowl of ice cream. I didn't really share that, but I did. And I couldn't believe the responses. People were like, give me their feedback and tell me, oh, you should have done that and whatever. But people are following those kinds of things. Weird. Okay, so Allison got her workout. Elizabeth.
I talked one of my friends into getting 21 Day Fix, but only if I do it with her. So it's my second round. We're starting after I hang up, and realized that my first goal was to lose 130 pounds. And today when I weighed myself, my goal is now 75 pounds. So I'm a lot closer.
Yay!
Awesome.
That is so cool. Oh my god, like, chills. Anybody else? It's right, and that's the thing. Like, let's do this together, right?
Yep.
They're not alone. Let's do this. Be my workout partner.
So I got her there.
Yay! That's so cool. Oh. Okay, Kelly.
I got a lot done when I was home at lunch today, other than fight with Liam about his school. And I made a really good dinner. I mean, Ryan texted me as soon as he got home and said how good the house smelled. So that made me feel good.
That's
And I'm
awesome.
going to post the recipe. And I'll post it in our group too, Allison.
Okay.
And it's a crock pot one. I mean, it was easy and it was pretty awesome.
You guys are crock pot masters.
I want the recipe, Kelly.
Are we friends?
I hope so.
I'll
If
post
not,
it on
that
my
is
personal
way over
page too.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny. That awkward moment. I thought we were friends.
I know.
I didn't unfriend you. Did you invite me to be a coach? Maybe I did unfriend you.
Yeah.
That's funny. I actually had someone unfriend me, and then they accused me of being the unfriender. I don't do that, so I'm like, whatever.
That's awesome.
Yeah, funny. Well, and I think that's awesome that, like, you definitely are a master of time management, because you have to, with homeschooling the boys and the chiropractic business and all the things that you guys are doing. Like, you are master circus active, like, just making life function and still do the things that you do. So I definitely, that's great that you can do that and then just have your evening. And
Yeah, it was nice. I'll post it. You get it. It's one of the, all three of my kids, I walked in the door and they all were like chowing down and loved it. And can we have this, twice a month and maybe every week? And next week Dad's out of town. This is a good one because it's a crock pot, right? We can do this next week too when Dad's out of town. And, it's something, I realize my kids probably more than other people's kids do, but this really was a good one. It was easy. I think anybody's kids would
eat
like
it.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
Can't wait.
That's great.
Yeah. Yeah, like teenagers, any age. But like,
Husband.
yes, husbands. It's not a girly meal.
As long as there's no mushrooms or tomatoes.
Yeah, you don't have to. So with that, Laura, Liam's allergic to tomatoes.
That's right.
So we put diced tomatoes on top for us.
Okay.
But I just didn't. It calls for a can of diced tomato like in it as well. I just didn't put them in it, and you'd never know.
On like you do. Okay. Yeah, we do a lot of that often. So that's great. That's cool.
Yeah.
Sweet. Well, ladies, you're amazing. I mean, you got on the call, and everybody's got a lot that we're overcoming in some way, and just to make this a priority to get on is huge. It's a symbol of leadership and commitment to really wanting to make this happen. And so just that act, right, talk about law of attraction, tells the universe that that's what you want. So I'm going to go ahead